Happy Card Challenge Wednesday, everyone. Oh my goodness. So fun to be here with you. Hello, Luana. So awesome to see you here. Oh my goodness. Here it is. I was looking for my title so we know what this video is when you're looking at the video. Oh my gosh. I hope you all are having a nice week so far. It's kind of cloudy here, but hot in Texas. It's always hot. It's kind of like that Vietnam movie with Robin Williams where he just keeps saying it's hot because it's just hot. That's all there is to say. Oh, goodness. But actually, people up north, oh, Lord, I feel so bad for you guys because y'all aren't used to our hot. And I know my nephew doesn't have an air conditioner. He just has fans. And so that's yucky for him. He lives up in Massachusetts. Oh, my goodness. Hey, Tiffany and Linda and Noreen. So good to have you guys. Awesome. Well, today is Card Challenge Wednesday. I sent out my newsletter last night at midnight because I totally forgot to do it yesterday. But I want to make sure I always stay consistent and get you that exclusive Tuesday tutorial. So hopefully you all saw the email that I sent out. It also mentions the virtual scrapbook retreat that's going on in July. I'm so excited about that. That's going to be fun. And yep, Tony said very hot and humid. Oh yeah. And hello, Susan. Maybe it's not so hot up in Canada. It is so hot here. Okay. We have winners from last week, and we have a new card challenge for this week. It's going to be a sketch. Like I said, I'm doing lots of sketches because I'm getting a sketchbook together. I keep thinking I'm going to have it done, and then it just doesn't get done. So it will get done. You know, I've been working on a sketchbook forever, and it just it was so easy to make the first one because I didn't, my business wasn't very big. And so I had a lot of extra time. Now I have a full-blown business and it's a little harder, but that's okay. No biggie. Hey, Dorothy, Katie. Hello, hello. Awesome to see you guys here. All right. So like I said, we're doing a card sketch challenge like we did last week. Let me grab the winner screen. There we go. And there it is. All right. Can give a big congratulations to Tiffany and Martina. Look at those beautiful cards from last week. Remember, we had a card sketch where you did the images in the two corners and the sentiment in the middle. So we have two very beautiful cards here. I absolutely love both of them. They're gorgeous. So Tiffany and Martina, I will be sending a prize to you for winning. Don't forget to send me your email, not your email. Here's my email. So you can send me your shipping mail, your mailing address, so I can send you a prize. Okay, awesome. So again, congratulations, Tiffany, and congratulations, Martina. Let's get on with today's challenge. Let me clear my desk real quick so you don't see all this mess. Get the sketch out. There we go. All right, here we go. And boom. Ta-da! All right, so this sketch, we're going to take paper and put it at an angle. We're going to do an image here or a circle with some stamping and a sentiment. Or do some ribbon or some twine right there with a little bow. Yeah, so that is our, whoa, sorry about that. I got to remember not to bang on my table. It shakes my camera. That is our card sketch. So I'm going to keep that up in the corner here. I'm going to be using the Thankful Garden. Now, those of you who ordered the Thankful Garden suite, I just shipped them out. I just also sent you an email with your tutorial attached. So be sure to check your email for your Thankful Garden kit tutorial. I'm in the middle of making the July card kit by mail, and I'm using the Sunrise Sailing stamp bundle. So I think you're really going to like it. But I got to get them finished so I can show you what they are. But you'll see that on July 1st. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to use Thankful Garden. Now, I have already stamped and colored the flower. All right. Now, this is such a cool thing. If y'all haven't seen the way you color these, you stamp it, and then you use these stencils, and you use your blender brush, and it comes out like this. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, so pretty, so pretty. I used the colors Blackberry Bliss for the flower, and I used Pretty Peacock for the leaves because I am hooked on the lavender. What is this? Perennial Lavender paper. I love the Perennial Lavender paper, and it's got the Blackberry Bliss, purples, greens, tans, so pretty. So I'm using this paper. I've paired it with the Fresh Freesia. I thought those two went together well. And also when you do Blackberry Bliss very, very lightly, it looks like Fresh Freesia. So there we go. And that worked out great. Now, this card is so simple. All you're going to do is cut yourself a piece of cardstock to fit the cover and then cut it at an angle. Now, since this is directional, you can't really take the other piece and make another card with it. However, you could but you would just have your designer paper at the top for the second card. So the bottom card would be here. So let's go ahead and get out our trimmer and do that. First, I need to cut it at 4 1/4 tall. There we go. And then 5 1/2 wide. There we go. Okay, and that gives me a couple of scraps there for later. And now all I have to do is cut a diagonal just from one end to the other, wherever I want it. That looks good. Yeah, about that much there and that much there. Maybe a little. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter, just as long as you're tilted. Just as long as you are tilted. Okay. So then we have our bottom that we're going to use, and then you've got this other piece. Now, I just thought of something. You could flip it over if you had a non-directional back and put it on the bottom here. But if it's directional, then your top piece will just have to go up here if you want to make a second card. You may just want to use this for something else. But this is the piece we're using down here. All right, so the sketch, bring the sketch back in. So where the gray is right there, I'm using the Perennial Lavender. All right, so let me tack that on. Make sure I haven't missed any questions. Remember, put a question mark in front. So we've got, I left off with Tony. There we go. Susan, Mary Ann, Brenda, Stacy, Marilyn. Let's see, Noreen. I think I already said Noreen, but that's okay. I love how y'all are talking back and forth to each other. Y'all are so awesome. That's what it's all about, right? We are a community of crafters. Yes. Yes. So like I said, if you have any questions or if you want to tell me anything, just put a question mark in front or exclamation point or something so I can see it as I'm scrolling through all the comments. There we go. Can y'all see what I'm doing? Yep, there we go. Let me get my email off of there. That'll help. There we are. All right, so I'm going to move that over. Now, like I said, I've already cut this out. But before we do that, we're going to use some twine. Now, this is from the utterly awesome set. I absolutely adore that suite. This twine is still available in the shop. So I'm going to cut that off with enough to make a bow. Go and get my clamping tweezers. Whoops, come here. Oh, where are you? There you are. Okay. Holds that nicely, especially since this twine is so slippery. It's made of satin, and it's just the bow comes apart real easy. So one way to keep that from happening is to either add a little glue to it, or I'm just going to put a glue dot down once I get it where I want it and trim it real quick. There we go. So I've got my bow, and now I need to put this up on dimensionals. Hello, Victoria and Joyce. So good to see y'all. Let's see. Where are my... Give me a sheet that's actually got some on there. There we go. Okay. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There we go. All right. And then we're just going to put that right there like that. One last thing we need, and that is the sentiment. Now, you can stamp the sentiment up here if you'd rather. On the sketch, I've got a sentiment tag there. You can barely see it. I should have made it white, but that's all right. I'm going to be using, let's see, get the Blackberry Bliss out, and I had this stamp already put on a block. There it is. But I do want to put that on a piece of scrap paper. So there we go. There's my scrap paper that I did my flower on. And there we go. And I'm going to get that down as far down here as I can. There we go. Get my trimmer out. I'm going to trim it as close as I can. Try to make this as thin as possible. I think that's it. Whew. Okay. Sometimes you're not quite sure where that blade's going to land. There we go. Oh, I must do that with scissors. Whoops. Those are fabric scissors. Well, I guess I will use my trimmer. I'm not sure where my regular scissors went. Snips. Okay, so we got that on there. And we are just going to put that right there. Isn't that cool? So easy. So easy. I do want to get some bling out, though. You know, a card just doesn't seem right without bling. Oh, gosh, that's so pretty. And I'm still using these. These are still available in the shop, too. They are the pretty shimmer purple glimmer gems that came with the lavender. They're still available in the shop, too. So if you don't have any of these pretty purple things, you definitely want to get some. All right, and I need my other tweezers for this. And hold on, let's see. Do we want purple? The purple, the Blackberry Bliss, or the Highland Heather? I'm thinking the Highland Heather. But I don't know. I like the Blackberry Bliss. Oh gosh, it's so hard to decide. Or the Gorgeous Grape. I never can decide. It's so hard to decide. Y'all, it's so hard on the TV screen, on the computer monitor. I can't really tell the difference between these two. But I can tell the... Yes, Marianne, they sure are. These clamping tweezers are in. And if you all, I have updated my must-need tools page on my blog. So if you go to creatingwithkristina.com and you go over to must-see tools, or must-have tools, that's what it is, must-have tools, click on that link and you'll see where these clamping tweezers are. And okay. And plus a whole bunch of other stuff in there. Okay. Well, I've just decided on the Highland Heather. I'm just going to go with them. There we go. All right. Ta-da! So it's pretty simple. Again, I love these simple sketches where you can use any paper and any stamp set possible that you have. Go get some stash that you haven't used in a while and create a card. But it can be a circle with a stamped image, or it could be an image, you know, like I did the flower here. However you want to do that circle part, a sentiment, a bow, and excuse me, cut the paper at an angle. You could tear the paper. You could put another piece of paper and make like a border. There's all kinds of ideas you can come up with. You can turn it this way or this way. I guess I should. Either way, you can do it. It's anything you want. It's your sketch. I want to see what you come up with. Okay. Be sure to go back and look at last week's cards. They are all so amazing. Save the ones you like, because you know you can save posts on Facebook. So if you particularly like one, or take a screenshot and put it in a picture file that you save pictures of cards you like. So however you want to do that. But yeah, go and look at all the cards. I hope you all have a great rest of your day. I will be back Friday for Fun Fold Friday. And I can't believe July is next week, you guys. Crazy, crazy. Okay. I don't see any questions, so I'm going to call that quits and see you Friday. Bye-bye.